Here we go. Round number one, map number one will get underway here on Border. Dexterity taking on Polar Ace.
Yeah, so starting things off, also, I guess, even while we were trying to stall and pick things out to talk about in the beginning, we didn't actually get into the op bans for Border. So those coming out on the board are Twitch, Ashe, Vigil, and Mira. So yet another Border game without a Mira. However, Dexterity banning Ashe, that I feel like you could have got a lot more utility banned off the board with a different pick, but they wanted to ban Ashe. Okay.
Maybe they knew something we didn't.
Maybe. Nonetheless, you're going to go for double breach Dexterity R to start things off. Sweater going to be playing Hibana instead of that Thermite roll. Bo is going to be filling in on the Thermite roll. Jackal, Dokkaebi, and Glaz. So 6 smoke grenades on the board with a double breach. There's no vertical soft destruction at all, which could slow them down, except there's no bandit on the board on behalf of Polar Ace either.
Yeah, and we talked about that, about how effective a bandit is here, especially when nobody's bringing, something that can breach the ceiling, like a Buck, like an Ashe, obviously Ashe being banned, like a Zofia, to like drive a bandit out or at least open the floor and get the batteries off of it. But people seem to think that, I guess, with no Mira, maybe there's not going to be batteries either. And so for some reason, they end up being right. Like, why not bring a bandit? We've seen the success rate in a mirrorless or border be very, very much more successful with a bandit than without.
Breaching open the customs Ashe, the Jackal pings are coming out on the Valkyrie of Nyx back in behind half wall. They also see footsteps downstairs of either Tranks or Holiday Nog, who had rotated on a double roam downstairs. The Jackal of Exo is now dropped customs, is going to be pressing the issue further, trying to establish where this double roam is playing. It's Tranks going to be pinged out, but the drone will spot Holiday Nog on a bad rotation. Exo will gun him down, and now Tranks falls. A quick 5v3 advantage here, only a minute deep for Dexterity.
Wonderful gun work by Exo at that C7E, a very, very dangerous rifle, and he's able to go in there and get both roamers. Why do you have 2 roamers in server? I think they're going to ask themselves the same question once this round is over, but only half the round expired now, and a lot of easy angle holding and intel gathering coming out, at least for now, from the attackers, not having to sweep in and do anything crazy. Abana, we'll see one person kind of pass by the office door there. Glaz will pop some shots in through office as well. And they are kind of firmly inside of this pillbox wall. A plant will go down even though the wall right next to it is open. There's still one hanging out by the A-bomb very close. Some smokes get thrown out, but to no avail. The diffuser will indeed go down. Nyx will get a C4. He'll get a double kill with that MPX. And now it's back to a 3-3, a third of the diffuser time gone. Bobfather will think it is worth it to pick his teammate up as the other 2 remaining defenders are very, very low on health. Some shots will go back and forth. Dynasty will get a headshot onto Yaga. Half the diffuser time. He'll get a double of his own. Bolo will get a kill now. 1v2. Only Bolo left at CCTV. Bobfather will try to cover. He'll get another one. 2 kills coming out of Bolo. The 1v3 clutch. And man, if you're going to have somebody substitute last second on your roster, I guess you want it to be Bolo.
Wonderful play there on both sides. So, Polar Ace losing the man advantage very quickly, going down 2 members, the Jaeger and the Pulse of, I believe, Tranks and Holiday Nog downstairs being removed just about a minute deep. That is rough, because that's your intel at that point. You had the Valkyrie, but the Valcams were being shot at. I believe we saw Exo claim 2 Valcams on his own. But moving forward into that round, Polar Ace decided to back off a little bit. They aren't playing the A-wall as aggressively as they had been. They were playing a little reserved, and a wonderful double kill, the Nitro down metal stairs by Nyx, and a wonderful turn onto Exo. To level things up, they pick up Dynasty, who gets another 2 kills. They have the 3v1, and Bolo plays it safe out on the balcony and ducks into CCTV, drawing in the attackers to come get him, knowing that they can't get that defuse down. disable that diffuser without removing the problem, which is Bolo up against that soft wall. They try to rush him, and Bolo showing off some pretty good gun skill that we're all fairly familiar with him for being known for.
Yeah, absolutely. And what a great job. What the patience that he showed. And then when anybody dared peek him, I mean, eliminating them immediately. So here we go into round number 2. 15 seconds off the board. Still a 2-person roam downstairs near the server area. That did not work out well for them last time, but they will opt to give it one more shot, as one person was kind of able to get in and dispatch them, that being Exo with that Jackal. So they're going to be a little bit more cautious, a little bit more aware, as they want that pulse underneath, knowing that Dexterity likes to push the pillbox just to stop a plant should it come in. And here we go. 4 of Dexterity all on pillbox. Exo now hanging out up top. No roam clearing going on the side of the attackers at the moment.
A minute deep. The roam clear's taking a little bit longer this time, but it's still holding that roam at bay. The double roam from Holiday and Tranks once again. Hyper has dropped downstairs to hold a flank rotation by metal stairs outside the front door. It looks like Holiday Nog has one of those pulse sensors. That's all the way up in the CCTV. The EMPs will come out now, trying to disable any Legion mines. The Bobfather's laid at the feet of the entryway into A. Now smoke grenades coming out once again. Yager's going to push in as that glass. A wonderful shot to deny Nyx that nitro cell. Taking the corner now and pressing further in behind half wall into A. He just saw the head of Bobfather rotate back into archives. I believe the plant is going down in behind by Bolo. It hasn't actually. He's taking diffuser all the way to CCTV. Sweater will claim another victim though as Dynasty falls. A wonderful nitro from below by Holiday Nog, but Bolo will take down Trank. Phone calls going off. Hyper grabs one. Bobfather will trade it back onto Bolo. It's all up to Bobfather in a 1v3. Glass has been taken down from behind half wall. He'll answer his phone with a minute left, but he hears the Legion Mind from in behind. Exo comes up metal, takes down Bobfather, and a quick 2-0 lead for Dexterity.
Dexterity, a much better start than they had last week. Very systematic push. Nothing very complicated about it. They're just pushing in and winning gunfights, like face-to-face fights, and there's been no resistance at pillbox, right? Obviously, no bandit there, no bandit tricking, nothing along that line. And because there's been no resistance at pillbox, sure, Holiday Nog was able to stay alive and get the nitro from underneath. This time, not get eliminated early by one of the roam clearers, but how much did that accomplish? I mean, you take one out, and then the rest of the attacking team were able to come in, plant, set up, do whatever they please, and just has not been effective as the attackers have been able to enter pillbox too easily so far.
I'm a little concerned here for Polar Ace. Back-to-back rounds now, you've tried to play in Armory Archives, and yes, it is the primary on Border. That's no secret. Everyone loves to play Armory Archives. It's universally considered probably the best site to defend on the map. There's no op swapping at all. They're not trying to tinker with the lineup. And after dropping the first 2 rounds, yeah, they actually had the 3v1 advantage at the end before Bolo clutched out in the first round. However, you were down 2 men before the first point. It was only at the hands of Nyx's great play with the nitro and wonderful 180 turn that you were able to level up man count, and then picking up a down Dynasty, grabbing another 2. You guys were on the ropes there the first half of the first round. You brought it back, and then Bolo clutched out. And once again, last round, it was a decimation. It was again a 1v3. Now pushing into break room. Exo will get down this time. Not finished off as he ducks in behind the couch. Phone calls coming up from Hyper, who is stationed all the way out on the radio tower. And the Jackal ping's still coming out as they haven't been able to finish off Exo. Pulling out the pistol now, his Sweaters is down to about half HP. Playing the Thatcher roll this time around. Nyx will claim the first victim of the round as that is the downed Jackal inside of break room. Still cell phone calls coming out. Tranks trying to get a pixel angle onto the window. Just misses the head of Sweater as he backs away. He has support from Nyx by the break room wall, and he's going to rotate in behind Fridge, but he gets down from the window all the way from radio tower by Hyper. A wonderful shot. Tranks still unable to find this angle. So now they're on the brink of leveling up man count as Nyx has been down, and they're closing in on suffocating Tranks. He's stuck in behind the L monitors inside of CCTV. Nyx will fall, and now another 2 as Dexterity on a run right now, trying to put this to 3-0 up 4-2.
They did a great job so far holding CCTV, but it kind of fell apart towards the end there. I'm not sure how the third person dropped, maybe in the hallway. Either way, they were doing such a great job, and they just couldn't go tit for tat with the kills. It's very unfortunate on the roam game when you're not able to win any gunfights. There should be a little bit more back and forth. A beautiful shot by Holiday Nog will finish off Yaga underneath on the glass. A 2v3, manageable if you're the defenders, as a lot of time has been wasted, but still a lot of time left to go, as we have Holiday Nog with Nitro in hand will be underneath. He'll chuck one up on the balcony, but it'll be too late. The last defender upstairs will get taken out. They'll push in. Hyper easy kill onto the main stairs. No Impulse was downstairs. And that will be 3 consecutive very great rounds from Dexterity.
Yeah. The first thing I'd like to see here is either an objective rotation from Polar Ace, just take it to a different site. Clearly this is not working. Or if you really want to stick it out upstairs, make an op swap. And the only one we're getting is one trap operator to another. Legion being swapped out for Capcan, but they are heading to Vent Workshop. Also, the castle being brought out late there instead of the Pulse. So, in hand for Holiday Nog, but no cardiac sensor, no nitro cell. That's he tried to launch out there at the end. And yeah, Holiday Nog is that Pulse downstairs. I understand why you don't want to rotate up. It was probably a good decision. In all honesty, to stay downstairs, having that cardiac sensor, having that nitro cell to be able to deny any possible plant or possibly pick up a multi-kill and level up man count. But unfortunately, his sight player falls and he gives away his position by running outside. There's not a lot you could do in that 2v4, although he did hit a wonderful shot under the glass coming in through main door, who's coming to clear him out.
That he did. So yes, a sight change coming. Typically, we see it after maybe 2 failed attempts. I don't discount anybody for trying to take it or swap it after 3. A very, very similar lineup, like you said, the trap operators, and I think that Legion, even with that strat not working, I think Legion a little bit better than a Capcan in these particular circumstances. Castle, obviously, we know why bring Castle there. The Jaeger, has the Jaeger really been doing anything? Exo, another super aggressive push-up will not pay off, as I think he got... Yes, he ran through a Capcan trap, so I'll eat my words as Captain becomes effective all of a sudden. And downs Jackal yet again early on in the round. And Jackal will survive yet again for a while early on here in this round.
45 seconds deep. Exo just trying to get to safety here as he's got a decision to either hold F in position or try and get to a safer location to be revived by his team. And I think they're just worried about the CCTV hatch being opened up, as no one on Dexterity are going for the revive, and he's going to bleed out here. Can't get the visual on him yet. Oh, he just gets revived the last possible second. He gets picked up downstairs, so X are going to be going back to 50 HP, and they'll start aggressing upstairs and downstairs simultaneously. You want to clean out the roam game topside, and Yaga and Exo will continue the push downstairs.
Yep, so one Capcan trap will be dispatched by the silenced pistol there on that glass. Still half the round to go. Everybody's alive. Couple operators at 50% health on either side of the board. Not sure if they know that somebody is in sandwich, but they will push in through pillbox yet again. He's going to hold that angle. I guess they don't know. He'll peek out. Tranks will get the kill. Sweater will trade him right back, but from behind, some trades go back and forth. Bolo will get Holiday. Bobfather will get Exo. And so still even numbers. A minute left to go now. And I think, after all the smoke is cleared, that the attackers now have full control of this top floor.
They cleared out the roam game quite effectively. You're going to have a 3v3 with 50 seconds pushing down onto site. Sweater and Bolo have lost some health, but Yaga still 100 HP as that Glaz. Next is now rotated over to the bottom of Metal Stairs, or it's actually inside the small office in Customs, I believe. The thermite charge coming out on the floor, I think, to open up visibility into sight. Oh no, sorry, that was the server hatch. So now Bobfather playing directly in below that server hatch, trying to garner an angle on towards the armory doors. Time is ticking down. The aggression needs to come out from Dexterity, push onto site. That's exactly what happens. Nyx will fall on a bad rotation, and now Bobfather down inside site. It's all up to Dynasty in a 1v3 unless he can revive Bobfather. He's gonna be launching the smoke. He's being way too late. Sweater's gonna complete the plant inside of ventilation and back out. He's actually gonna hold inside a vent. Bobfather will follow the downed Capcan. It's still only Dynasty. Downs one, picks off Yaga. He's got a 1v2 to complete. Still lots of time on the board. About 30 seconds left, ticking down on that diffuser. One is backed up all the way upstairs. That's Bolo and the Thermite inside of Armory. Playing in behind the half wall, looking through the kill holes made by those defenders. Pings aren't coming out for Dynasties. He can't see the Thatcher of Sweater. Bolo will get the kill through the floor. Dexterity on a run that will seemingly never be stopped. Up 4-0.
It's the exact opposite of what we saw out of this team last week during their loss to Hydra. They started out going 0-4, and now here they are going 4-0, and so I don't know if the Bolo thing was planned. I mean, they gave us the news of the org switch very late. You know, we already have the graphics made. It wasn't, to my knowledge, that Bolo was slated to come in today. But this is just working. Bolo doing a lot of work. 8-1 now, having a field day with the Thermite. And again, I don't really think this comes down to planning as much as it comes down to them winning lots of gunfights. That Jackal, EXO with the Jackal is just in first immediately, round after round. And he's gotten down a couple of times immediately. But his teammates seem to have used him as a little bit of a decoy, a little bit of a meat shield in order to kind of pick around the areas that the attackers are trying to maybe sneak out and secure the kill.
The one thing I will say so far is I'm really unimpressed with Polar Ace's response to this decimation. You're going back upstairs, same site, and you're playing same operators again.
Exactly the same operators that haven't worked 3 times on this site. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, it's fine. Dexterity have run the same 5 ops everywhere. You know what they're going to be bringing. The only op swap out now is Sweater on the Thatcher instead of Hibana that we saw in the very first round. But I mean, guys, make a change here. You've got Vigil Bandit, so you can't be going for the, I guess, more advanced roam game, but it's not even a roam game that's going to save you here. It's stopping that AWOL take. Take a mute, take a bandit, just do something. They have a Thatcher, yes, but as long as you're covering a bandit trick, you could probably save them for minute and a half. You can kill some time, take that bandit with a nitro and launch it out and try and grab that Glaz of Yaga who keeps pushing aggressively onto that wall. Don't just give them the free walk-in 30 seconds in.
Yeah, and, you know, we could talk till we're blue in the face, but it's them that have to do it, and no drone means an easy kill for Nyx, as he had no idea that there would be somebody at CCTV. Nyx obviously crossing over from site to CCTV late, but they should have definitely, and oh no, Nyx will get headshot by Dynasty. Unfortunate, as Dynasty exchanges bullets with the Glaz, and not only that, he'll lose half of his life plus in the process. Very unfortunate after a great start, Nyx sneaking up on EXO in CCTV.
So 4v4, and for the first time, we're seeing Dexterity opt to go for an office take. Just mixing the pixel angle, sorry, is Bobfather onto the head of Sweater. Hyper's going to claim his first victim, and now another one for him. He's got a flank coming up in the hallway, or at least he was coming up in the hallway. Not sure what happened there, but Holiday Nog will fall. Yaga will claim Dynasty. It's off the Bobfather inside Fountain as he tries to rotate in. Yaga had already pressed in Archives. And that is Polar Ace dropping 5 consecutive rounds on the defense. They will head to attack to try and salvage map number 1.
Yeah, normally I'd spend this time talking about what Dexterity is doing right and what Polar Ace needs to do. But I think what Polar Ace needs to do is so basic. I think everybody out there in chat can figure it out. You've been talking about it the whole time. It's, you know, they say it's the definition of something. I don't want to go so far. You know, if you try the same thing over and over, and you keep failing, and you don't change anything, and you wonder why, they need to change something, and they need to change something fast. They did try a little bit of a change when they put a little bit of a presence in CCTV, and I think other than the very first round where Bolo clutched that 1v3, that was their most promising round that I had seen out of Polar Ace. But unfortunately, they're going to go winless on defense as now they will make the swap to attack, and we will see a Glass, Thatcher, Blackbeard on Holiday Nog. Nobody surprised there. Nyx on the Ying, and Bobfather bringing out the Thermite.
We've also got Bathroom Tellers as the objective for Dexterity, so maybe just trying to flex their border muscles a little bit, get some extra work in on a site that they have a strat for that isn't completely developed, or they haven't scrimmed it enough, or really they just think Bathroom Tellers is your go-to plan. Oh my. Holiday Nog lining up a perfect shot onto the head of Bolo, and he was in behind an indestructible wall, I think behind the lockers. I'm trying to open up the hatch. He's gonna try and make sure that he doesn't destroy the bandit batteries. And the first thing I was worried about was taking out those bandit batteries on trip wall and office. Now Exo will drop downstairs with that Valkyrie. So they have wonderful information set up with the Valk cams, the Legion mines laid around site, and those will accumulate even more as time passes. Drone getting it taken out upstairs is, it feels like Polar Rays don't really know what they need to be doing here. They're kind of all scrambling and stacking on top of one another on this office wall balcony. And that was the big thing I talked about last week when we saw this come out, was it is a pretty decent stall tactic at the very least, because you are very used to, as a team, pushing one specific way when it's one of the more popular sites. And then when you pull out a Bathroom Tellers, you really got to adjust on the fly. Exo going to get the first kill. Coming up east stairs, going to destroy the Thermite charge. Dynasty will trade one out onto Bolo. Bobfather will fall to Exo again on the east stairs, but he tries to hop the railing. He gets spotted out by Nyx. Holiday Nog will claim Sweater as well, so it's a 2v3. Hyper's still playing inside of office, hasn't been breached out yet. He has his window opened up on radio wall, but that's about it. And both defenders actually playing topside. They're going to try and deny any kind of plant from above.
Yeah, so great job to get that Thermite charge. I'm not sure where the other kills came out, but I think it was a little bit of over-aggression coming out on the side of Dexterity. And if you'll recall, the last time we saw Dexterity, they played this site twice. Although the time that they played it, they had the Mira. Nyx will sneak into the bathroom and begin to put the plant down. Hyper, not sure if he hears it or not. He'll take some fire out of the window and get Glass down to about 5 health. Still the Blackbeard and the Ying to go. Ying still in bathroom with the diffuser planted, and they know it is in bathroom that the diffuser has gone down. Hyper will wait for some reinforcements from his teammate to get a little bit closer before pushing. He'll cross the doors and get taken out by Holiday Nog. Thought he was safe from the window, but he wasn't. Yaga will go in. He'll get one, but Dynasty on that Glass will finish it up, and that will be a desperately needed win here from Polar Ace.
So Dexterity trying to flex a little bit and improve maybe on their Bathroom Tellers hold. It was a wonderful flank by Exo coming up east stairs. He went undetected. No one was covering the rotation from the roof as everyone was stacked outside that trip wall in office. I will say, though, if you're going to deny plant from above, you need to be watching that they can't get into the site with the indestructible wall surrounding it. They did have the kill hole in the floor, just not enough manpower to cover it. And Nyx strolls right in, gets the plant down behind the bomb, sits in a bathroom stall and waits for the defenders to come. They were going to be, and they're going back to it, okay. Dexterity were actually going to be in a really good position there if I believe it was Hyper hadn't stopped at that bathroom hallway door from Tellers. If he had pushed in and tried to take that engagement with Nyx immediately, if he was able to secure that kill, he definitely could have stuck that defuse easily, as they'd have to vault in through the Tellers window and run all the way over where it was Yaga, I believe, on the castle covering from hatch. He could have stopped anyone rushing in through Tellers, and that could have been an easy stick for defuse for the 6-0. But nonetheless, Dexterity feel like they, with one slight adjustment, could secure the round on Bathroom Tellers and send us to map number 2 up 1-0.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that maybe he should have pushed in hindsight for sure. Although, you know, he was at that spot, and to be honest, I was watching him in that corner. I thought he'd be safe there. But Holiday Nog able to find his shoulder or something, poking out, taking him out, hanging in the doorway of bathroom. And yeah, I was in the middle of mentioning the last round that Dexterity did this bomb site twice. They did it with a Mira the last time we saw them play. So that's kind of the main difference that we see, and they were actually able to win it twice. So I don't think it's like a meme site or anything like that. They've had success on this site in the past. And if the game's not on the line, you know, this is, like you said, a great chance for them to attempt to kind of try it out.
Bobfather going to be attempting to open up the wall once again, and now everyone on Polar Ace is going to be well aware of that flank up east. The bandits are going to be coming out from Hyper. That's going to stop the first thermite charge. He's going to pick up his battery to save it. Pressure coming from the main hallway as the Glads of Dynasty had opened up that double barricade, blocking the main hallway door. Bolo going to take some shots as Candela's come flying in, and Nitro will miss wide right. Nick's coming hallway will get shut down aggressively by Yaga, and spraying in towards AC for the pre-fire. The wall will get opened up on Trip right in the middle. And now Yaga will cover from the back. Sweater will claim Dynasty. It's a 5v3 advantage for Dexterity. A 5v2 as Hyper drops Bobfather down to a 2v5. Tranks and Holiday Nog, the Thatcher and the Blackbeard, the last two left alive. They have breached open the Trip wall in office, but all they've managed to do is all the teammates have fell at their feet. Smoke grenades coming out of the wall, stopping the push by Tranks. Now he's going to reclaim Diffuser from the balcony and rotate down with Holiday Nog, trying to catch anyone on an aggressive rotation. Exo is coming up right below him as he's looking upstairs, looking at the stars. He'll get put to sleep. Holiday Nog will claim Hyper as well, bringing it back within reach for Polar Ace. A minute left on the board. Holiday Nog breaking the teller's window, checking to see if anyone is up. Bolo will get reset inside of small office upstairs, and all three defenders stacked on one another, rushing out into separate directions. Bolo will drop hallway. Sweater will drop hallway. Bolo will drop armory into workshop. Now they're covering for the plant. Bolo will kill Tranks off. That's Diffuser down. It's all up to Holiday Nog, and the Blackbeard. He claims Bolo. A 1v2 situation. Sweater creeping up through the bathroom hallway will drop Holiday. It is a 1-0, 6-1 victory for Dexterity.
A very sweeping and overwhelming victory, and I have to say, Dexterity, I'm just extremely impressed. I mean, I saw them last week. Saw them get off to a bad start, bring it back. I've talked about it time and time again, bring it into overtime, but just not able to find that success. And that looks like a completely different team this week. And Polar Ace, we're going to take a short break here in a second, but Polar Ace are going to have to find something if they're going to try and figure out a method, anything, something that they can do to bring it back here on map number 2. So, folks, stick around. We will be going to map number 2 with Polar Ace versus Dexterity after a short break. We will be back in just a moment. Welcome back, folks. This is CCS Season 3, Week 2 that you are watching now. My name is Tight Angles. I'm joined today by my co-caster, good friend, Mr. Flynn, and we are going to be bringing you map number 2 right away. Consulate, just waiting for the R's to come out, and here we go. We're going to get underway. What a devastating little game around map 1 that we saw. And I'm just noticing, sorry for the pause there, I just noticed that I had the wrong teams on the board. So for those of you in chat freaking out thinking that we were going to go to a different game, my apologies. My graphics were a little bit out of order. But no, we're still back here with Dexterity Polar Apes, map number 2. Flynn, my man,
Hey,
what do you think so far?
Wow, Polar Ace got smacked. We'll say that much. An inability to remain dynamic. A team that will stay stagnant is a team that will die. And that is not what I wanted to see from Polar Ace. I wanted to see them come out and with this new roster acquisition in Nyx, who actually had a very good game, barring the results. That was rough. That was an inability to adjust. That was a refusal to adapt. That was a complete decimation, partly at their own hand. And I feel for Polar Ace. I can't imagine that they're feeling too hot after that game. But I said it before, we've seen a lot of decimations in first maps and then have the series actually be close. I said it in pregame, Consulate is a map that lends in their favor simply because they are that very strategic, very coordinated, very synergistic team on attack. However, they're starting out on defense again for the first 5 rounds. And the way that the roam clear has been coming out at the hands of Dexterity, I'm very nervous to see Polar Ace handle this. As I say that,
no.
Hyper, all the way from behind police line spawn, will drop Nyx, the Jaeger off the board. At least he got his ADSs out, but that is a wonderful first pick for Dexterity and Hyper. Polar Ace, the one thing I was going to say was you need to have a more established, a more significant roam game, and that is not the start you want to have.
Yeah, we had talked about prior about how that Polar Ace was going to have a little bit more of a methodical setup, but to still be setting up 30 seconds into the round is not where you want to be. So a very, very important pick for Dexterity to keep the smackdown going as getting somebody picked off in the very first 15 seconds. Bolo will get a beautiful pixel headshot onto Bobfather. Hyper will get one of his own on Holiday Nog upstairs. Still 2 minutes left. And as the first smoke goes out, phone calls coming in. Hyper will get his second of the round. 5v1, and this is just kind of an implosion now on the heads of Polar Ace as Exo will finish off the flawless round for Dexterity. And it looks like even with the short break that we had, Polar Ace not able to kind of recollect themselves and shake it off and say, let's go and make something happen here in map number 2.
Yeah, but what I was going to touch on before that first pick came on the board was we've seen decimations and then the series turn into a good matchup later on with maps 2 and 3 being very competitive. The way that happens is change. The way that happens is evolution within yourselves to understand that your current setup is not working. You need to make changes.
Right.
I think Nyx is going to stay alive a little bit longer this time around. So the one thing I want to see from Polar Ace is kind of put that out of their minds. Right now, they seem just completely defeated already. And that's a mentality. You can shake that mentality. It's hard to do, don't get me wrong. 6-1 and almost 6-0'd off the first map, and now dropping round number 1, in such a convincing fashion. That is a hard thing to keep in your head, that you need to put all of that out of your mind and focus on what's in front of you. The teams who manage that best, the teams that manage their mentality the best and keep a level head through everything, we have seen come back very, very strong. Polar Ace going to be heading downstairs once again. This is starting to be a pattern for them. They're a little stubborn, I'll say. Nyx hiding on the right-hand side of an indestructible wall right before the circle desk main lobby. Now the roam clear is going to be coming out properly as Hyper and Exo will be heading topside. to go for a 3-4 clear, which is what you want to do on Consulate. You want to take a top down. You want to clear out those roamers. Y'all gonna do some 360s. And that Glaz is playing for Dexterity, but I think he really wants to be playing for FaZe right about now. Thermite Charge, you can open up both panels of the wall. As once again, there's no mute or bandit on the board. Sweater's been playing that Thatcher, but he's not actually close to the wall. They could have, again, stalled out some time. Nick's going to take out one drone to get spotted. Pre-fires in towards the meeting room balcony, but won't land the headshot. Now he's going to answer his phone call while getting droned out inside of Connector. Hyper once again will drop Nyx, but this time 56 seconds deep.
It's still in the first minute, and it's still a very important kill as he is the only roamer for Polar Ace currently. There is one actually on first floor. I think he's hanging right near Spiral Stairs. Not sure exactly where his position is. Smoke will take a little bit of damage of his own as he gets droned out behind the white truck. The garage is completely open, and now full top floor control for the attackers here, as they've got a lot of time left to try and figure out when is the best time to approach the site with full force.
Midway through the round, second phone call coming out. Lots of smoke grenades, but a wonderful pixel angle from the bottom of Yellow Stairs will drop Hyper to get their first kill in the matchup. Smoke grenades coming out, just dodging the asphyxiating bolt. Tranks claims another victim on defense. Dynasty, what are you doing? Exo walks up straight onto him, goes for the flick and takes the second, spraying in towards Yellow Stairs, trying to claim Tranks for the third. Yaga will drop him. It's off the Holiday Nog, who grabs one victim of Bolo coming down the Yellow Stairs. Sees the diffuser planted at the middle of the breach hole. That is going to be a tough battle for him. Exo is extremely lit, hanging right underneath default, and now the pre-fire, he's gonna claim Exo. It's now down to a 1v1, but he's got to go against a DMR at range with an MPX. It's a horrible position to be in for Holiday Nog. He knows that the glass is positioned outside of Yaga. He's laying prone all the way in the back. Now he gets right up against the reinforcement. He might be able to stick this if Yaga can't come close. He's sprinting down, trying to stick it, goes for the peak. He might have enough time to clutch this out. Holiday Nog with a 1v3. Can he stick the defuse?
Oh!
Yes, he does! Holiday Nog with a wonderful 1v3 clutch to keep his team alive.
That is what they needed. Their team play up to this point was not up to par, is not where they needed it to be. They needed somebody on that team to step up, make a big play, and that is exactly what Holiday Nog did with that beautiful brand new Valkyrie Elite skin, showing off to the world that that he deserves to have it. A beautiful play, exactly what I think the spirits of Polar Ace needed to get a little bit of an uplifting, and hopefully that's not just an isolated incident. If you're Polar Ace, hopefully we can, off the back of Holiday Nog's efforts, make a comeback.
The one thing I will say is that that is not a round that Polar Ace deserved. That was Tranks getting two very nice picks to start giving them some momentum, and then everyone else on site collapsed once again. Everyone is falling around them, and it was up to Holiday Nog and Tranks to take the round into their hands, put their destiny in their hands. And while that is good, they got a round on the board before round number 6 this time. They certainly did not deserve it. Their roam game has been completely ineffectual thus far. The roam clear coming up from Dexterity has been marvelous. And heading into a top 4 defense, they're going for a castle setup. Looks like they want to do the break room mirror, looking in towards admin. The first thing I'm noticing here is a Blackbeard, which is very indicative of going for a B window placement on that Blackbeard. Head towards the console meeting windows instead. Exo and the Blackbeard is currently going to be repelled outside the spiral windows. And Dexterity seem to be positioning themselves for an admin take. So they're going to be walking in that mirror, which could stall them out, which is something we haven't seen from Polar Ace. The ability to stall out this attack from Dexterity. They have had full map control about a minute and a half deep every single round on both maps thus far. And I fear for Dexterity being stalled out how they'll handle it.
I agree with you completely. The map control has been huge. And the thing that I have to commend Dexterity on is they've run into a couple of different scenarios. For example, even though the roles and the operators didn't switch, we saw CCTV, and what an interesting little reflection there coming off of Glaz's little scope. A couple of trades will come back and forth, Holiday Nog will get Sweater Hyper with the immediate retrade. But even in the face of adversity, as Bobfather gets one with that mirror, he sees another one hanging out. He'll peek out. He'll hit the little girder. Unfortunate. Bolo will hit his head in return. Yaga will get one too. And now it is flip-flop. It's a 3v2 in favor of Dexterity. And maybe, Mr. Flynn, I'll try to finish my thought after the end of the action as Exo will get one on the Tranks. It is only the smoke now, and he will get dispatched heftily by Bolo. Bolo getting a second headshot of the round with Thermite, and his reign of terror continues here onto Polar Ace.
Talked about the the ability to stall out Dexterity.
Yeah.
That has yet to be seen. I thought having that mirror window up on break room would at least cause some hesitation on behalf of Dexterity. No, they didn't really care.
Yeah, that poor mirror just was hitting that little jut, that the piece that sticks out from the metal reinforcement and grips the other side of the wall and kind of opens up.
Well, you can't shoot through when that mirror is on the wall. It looks like there's a gap in reinforcement. You actually can't shoot that. You can see through it, which is a weird thing that happens in this game because there's a lot of weird things that happen in this game. But you can shoot it all you want. It'll look like bullets are going through, but they'll actually be rattling off against what is left of that reinforcement on the server side. It's still fully there for the game. You just can't see it. So even if he aimed up a little bit, the bullet wouldn't have landed, and Bolo saw the edge of the head peeking around. That's the problem. You're shooting out of the top of your head basically in this game. So while I think it was Holiday Nog felt like, or no, it was Bobfather, sorry. While Bobfather felt like he was in safety, in all actuality, the top of his head was peeking out, and his reticle was lined up perfectly with that invisible portion of the reinforcement. Correct
me if I'm wrong, but I think the camera level is at the neck level in Siege. And so if you're leaning out, there's a little bit more of your head is reaching out past the kind of lean angle, thus giving him the ability to make that headshot either way. Either way, what I wanted to touch on Dexterity, because we're already 30 seconds in the round, and I expect multiple kills to come out any second the way it's been going. But Dexterity has managed to find a way to push the site quick, push the map quick, despite the defense doing some different things every once in a while. One of the defenders will get trapped in the corner. Bolo with the third headshot in a row, counting the last round as well, will get him. He'll lose about half of his health in the process, but that is the Ella off the board here early, and the early kills continue for Dexterity.
Bolo gonna spot that Valkyrie cam up on the tire in garage, and now nobody on Polar Ace peeking, yet Bobfather will still fall through the wall inside of office. Holiday Nog will trade one back from the Sweater. Down by yellow stairs, coming down towards vending machines. He's rushing down yellow, but trapped inside the asphyxiating bolt. Still claims the head of Exo. Down to a 3v3, trying to launch out the nitro cell. It will claim Bolo. That's the diffuser. Lost at the breach hole of garage. Answering the cell phone now as Hyper is coming for the flank directly on top of him. Holiday Nog, has retreated all the way back to pipes. He still has one to deal with playing yellow pillar. Still hears the cell phones going off. A Doc stim pistol will go out towards pipes. Spray's coming out onto a dead body, not landing the shots onto Hypers. He'll back away. And Hyper not going to take that engagement much longer. Now the crouching in Yaga has made it, I think, all the way in behind White now. He's being damaged by this smoke canister. He's able to evade it. And now Dynasty's going to go for the peek and gets dropped by Yaga with a wonderful headshot. Takes the corner, can't land the headshot onto Tranks. Holiday Nog will claim another victim. Hyper falling, and once again, Polar Ace winning downstairs off the backs of Holiday Nog's flank.
That's exactly what I was going to touch on. Holiday Nog has absolutely stepped up for his team. He has done work. Another triple kill that round, and he is just doing a fantastic job at this point to put his team on his back. Look at the kills there. Still 2 donuts, 2 0 and 4s. The newcomer Nyx had Dynasty, and 1 breadstick. So Holiday Nog, Trank's helping a little bit, but Holiday Nog doing all of the work now for Polar Ace, and he is going to very heavily rely on his teammates for the rest of this matchup if they want any chance at winning this map and forcing a map number 3.
Heading back upstairs to the defense are Polar Ace, where they got decimated. They've 1-2 downstairs defenses. One of them, they definitely did not deserve to win. And then that one was just a good round, a wonderful read that Dexterity have been going in for that quick plant like you touched on. They're trying to garner control of the objective extremely quickly. And that roam clear that we saw come out the last time around when Holiday Nog clutched, that was missing. Everyone tried to stack and just run in through the breach hole and get that plant down immediately, and they forgot about yellow stairs. I mean, Exo also potatoed a little bit as that Capitao, just missing all those shots.
Well, he had just fired that asphyxiating bolt.
Yeah, it was a mess back and forth. We'll say that much. But heading back upstairs, same setup coming out for Polar Ace. They're going to play one inside of admin now as well. It's a lot of admin stacking, and the first thing I would do seeing this setup is head for a B Windows take, because that is what Dexterity have been so prominent at, is honestly ignoring your setup and aggressing towards site. And that's something Polar Ace are actually particularly good at on a map like Oregon or a map like Chalet. They won't care if you have a mirror setup off-site. They will completely ignore it and aggress onto site. It seems like Dexterity emulating that a little bit.
Yeah, Dexterity actually pushing into the admin office despite the Mira being there, and somehow managing to dispatch the person behind the Mira because of their aggressive peeking. So hopefully they will have learned their lesson, and Bobfather will maybe take it a little bit easier and only peek out when absolutely necessary, or when the kill is kind of not necessarily guaranteed, but kind of more into sights. Hyper will push it aggressively. Holiday Nog will continue his success here with Valkyrie MPX taking out the first member of Dexterity about a minute in. That'll be Hyper on the Dokkaebi. He's going to hang out on these spiral stairs. A drone did see him, and an angle is now being held by one of the attackers watching that flank.
Bolo was holding. Trank's going to drop Sweater at the top of Yellow, playing aggressively coming out of that bathroom doorway. And now you have two attackers trapped on Yellow. One from below as Holiday Nog is rotated up these spiral stairs and playing the top of Yellow. You don't have to worry about Tranks coming in from that bathroom. They still have a pixel angle to worry about from A-Bomb and Connector. And they have a defender inside of Connector playing that mirror. Smoke Grenade is going to be coming out from Yaga to try and garner an advantage here through that smoke grenade with that thermal sight. You still have Exo playing the B window. Now Bolo inside the smoke is going to be breaching Skinny Wall to try and get into B. He's going to get it off. And now the rush coming out from Tranks. He just takes the shots on the pre-fire outside the bathroom window. Is not going to aggress any further and throw his life away for any reason. They have the two-man advantage, and they don't want to pass it by the wayside. Dynasty still playing this Connector mirror, and he's going to have to be the crucial member of stalling this out. Exo now on the bathroom window will take down Tranks. That was one of the members holding down that rush from Yellow. And now both attackers and Bolo. Bolo's made his way inside the cubby. Smoke grenade is going to miss, but Bolo needs to get all the way to that white couch to plant. You can't plant inside the cubby. 26 seconds on the board. Nick's going to drop Bolo from below as he comes up Yellow stairs. It's all up to Exo and Yaga. The Blackbeard in the glass pushing up. Holiday Nog with a wonderful nitro cell from below. Yaga will trade it out onto Nix with the PMM. Now alone in a 1v3, trying to reclaim Diffuser. Still has to worry about that Connector mirror. Coming up, Yellow is the Valkyrie. Holiday Nog takes one bullet to the chest. Won't fall just yet. 7 seconds left. Claims the kill. Had the stats, but looking in, Bobfather had already crouched and proned in behind small desk, looking towards Yellow. Yaga falls. And Polar Ace with their first lead.
Polar Ace with their first lead. Polar Ace with their first 2 consecutive rounds chained together. Polar Ace with a lot of firsts, and Polar Ace right now with a little bit of momentum. Something that I'm very surprised to see. We still see Holiday Nog absolutely going off, but we do see his teammates now starting to, give him a little bit of support as far as kills are concerned. So, like I said, that's what they're going to need. Sweater, surprisingly, having a very off round, 0-0 and 4. The rest of his team, though, all contributing greatly to the success that Dexterity's had so far in this matchup, or at least in this map. But, yeah, like you said, the first lead for Polar Ace, and we'll have to wait and see if they can take this little bit of success that they've had and reconvene amongst themselves and bring it to where they can take this map. Because if we go to a third map, if we're forced to go the distance, we might see Polar Ace actually have a chance. Which is something I would have never said seeing them play the first map.
Well, I touched on it at the beginning of the map. We've seen decimations turn into close matchups and go 3 maps already, even through just 4 games thus far in week number 1 of NA. The other thing is, I also touched on at the top of the broadcast, Chalet is Polar Ace's map. You don't take Polar Ace to Chalet. I said if this got to Chalet, I would give the clear advantage in the favor of Polar Ace. So that being said, the aggression coming up from Dexterity has been pretty overwhelming, and Polar Ace are finally now starting to see some success on countering it. But Chalet is their map, man. You can't even play that aggressive of a roam game on defense on Chalet. You have to go for a delay roam. Bandits are going to be coming out from Hyper to stop Bobfather's first breaching attempt on the garage wall. You've got 4 attackers stacked inside the garage, and it looks like Polar Ace are trying to emulate some of what they saw Dexterity pulling off in their first early attack rounds on the garage. Just trying to stack inside the garage, get it open, get that plant down very early instead of going for a roam clear. And the detriment to that we saw was the flank down yellow stairs as a result of an improper roam clear. You got a minute left from the board. You have to go for a full team rotation to take backside, and that's exactly what Dexterity are going to be expecting, knowing that they've claimed both of those thermite charges. They didn't reinforce the meeting hatch, the circle desk hatch, but no one has the ability to breach that open, unfortunately. I don't think Tranks has breach charges. Bobfather has no more exothermics. It's going to be up to the push on the back stairs through the kitchen doorway and the small office hallway. Holiday Nog pre-aiming, waiting for an aggression to come out from Dexterity. He's going to spot the Echo drone, giving away the intel. Now they're going to be pushing hallway. Exo on a flank coming down. Visa stairs with another aggressive peek out. Yaga, Hyper, all claim victims. Exo grabs another. Trying to grab one in the flurry, but it is Dexterity tying things up 3-3. A wonderful bandit trick job by Hyper, I believe, on the bandit, and a terrible job of getting that garage wall open on behalf of Polar Ace. They wasted way too much time on that. You're gonna be bringing the mirrors. What is that? Okay, that's innovative, but I clearly think they haven't tested this before, as Hyper's unaware that he can't bandit it. Not enough room. You need separation from the mirror and the wall to get a bandit charge down. And they're going to be going for the break room mirror that we saw Polar Ace bring out. So I don't know if this is an on-the-fly strat call or if this is something Hyper just forgot, or what's happening here for Dexterity. Hyper's trying to look, he's looking around like a lost puppy right now. Doesn't really know where to play. He's telling Yaga to get off his mirror. it's all a mess right now in the setup as far as Dexterity are concerned, but I'm interested to see how this mirror is going to work out. They're clearly trying to repel any aggression for a B take off the yellow window, or sorry, the B windows. And as I talk about aggression, Sweater up close, Holiday Nog will fall. It's the Blackbeard off the board who's been doing so well on a Valkyrie roll. The other Navy SEAL going to fall. Dynasty is that Glaz trying to look in towards admin. Spot out the Castle of Sweater is taking pot shots at the windows. He's going to pull out a drone, try and ascertain the location a little bit better, but they still have to worry about this mirror and break room. Oh. An aggressive peek coming out once again. The Nitro, sorry, that was a smoke canister being launched out at the bottom of Visa's stairs. Dynasty is that glad to be looking up. A Bawfather pressing up with that P9 in hand as the Monte going to fully deploy the shield as Hyper goes for the peek as well. He's isolated in a 1v1. He doesn't have the crossfire he needs to cut this down. Hiding inside of admin, though, is the Jaeger of Yaga. He'll claim 2 victims. Dynasty and Bawfather both fall. The Diffuser has lost the top of Visa stairs. And Nyx has somehow made his way in behind. Long Desk claims 1, claims 2. Hyper and Exo fall down to a 1v1. Yaga still at full HP. Nyx down to about 5. And now the tight pixel angle held by Yaga not going to be successful. Nyx somehow claims the Diffuser. Runs back into A-bomb meeting room. Going to be trying to drop down this plant. And Yaga, where are you looking, my friend? Completely unaware of this plant going down in behind the A-bomb. Meeting room hold for Nyx. He's going to have to stall out for 45 seconds or get the kill as the flank is coming long hallway. They do have a rotation. Nyx wary of it, hears him coming, both preempting the same location, but Nyx much lower health and still clutches it out. A 1v3 masterful retake by Nyx to come in. Completely evaded cameras. I don't know what Polar Ace were doing there. They sneak into sight. Nyx with a 1v3. That was incredible.
So we are back. Sorry about that. Apparently I was having some mic issues. For those of you that couldn't hear me, I apologize. But my goodness, I can't let my problems cloud how amazing that clutch from Nyx was in the 1v3. Got stormed by 2 players, was able to flick and get them both. Finally finish it off at the end there. Holy cow, what a great job he did. Fantastic job by Nyx. And now they take the lead again, almost what was certainly going to be a loss, at least a lost round for Polar Ace. So kudos to him. I'm kind of beside myself at what an excellent job he did at playing the end of that round.
Yeah, and we saw the second defensive round for Polar Ace. It was so difficult to watch the fall of Dexterity as Holiday Nog achieved a 1v3 clutch that he probably didn't really, like, the team did not deserve the round. He had a masterful job, but it was very rough that once again we see another round go in a 1v3 favor. I, again, don't believe that Polar Ace really deserved that round, and yet they still come away with the victory. I was very shocked to see that happen. If you're Yaga, I'd probably be taking a more aggressive angle onto that Diffuser. You're going to get the call that Nyx is lit to down to about 5 HP. You need to be taking an aggressive stance at that point. You can't let him get away and plant. And also, you got to be checking the rotation.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. So here we go. Round number 8 here.
So starting out downstairs, Dexterity, I almost said Disrupt, which is their new org. We'll have All the graphics for you next week. Hello, Polar Racer walking down the Visa stairs. No sight line from any of the defenders. This is Dynasty and Bobfather. They're pushing into sight with Diffuser with 45 seconds. They're going to be coming into the office. The phone calls are coming out from Holiday Nog on the Dokkaebi. 2 rotations come out. Bobfather grabs Sweater, but Yaga will trade it back. And Hyper grabs Dynasty. That's both of them. And now Diffuser is lost inside of sight less than a minute deep into the round. This rush coming out from Polar Race, or secret rush, not going so well. Yaga cuts down Holiday Nog. It's down to a 4v2. Tranks and Nyx in the back hallways. Now the Echo Drone will be deployed by Yaga to get some more intel, as both the attackers are stacked inside of Visa, trying to come downstairs and reclaim the diffuser. They had the thermite at one point to breach open the wall. That is not the case anymore. As rotations coming up yellow stairs, it looks like Dexterity want to get a little more aggressive. I believe it's Exo on the Valkyrie rotating through main lobby, coming aggressive towards these attackers positioned inside of Visa, and they're stalling out once again. Bolo gonna drop Nyx now down to a 1v4. Tranks alone has 2 roamers to deal with, cuts down 1. That's Exo falling, still a 1v3. A minute 15 on the board as he's pressing up spiral stairs. He's unaware of Bolo, who had come up flanked for a second time. The SMG-11 drops Tranks into a 4-4 scoreline.
Yep, great back and forth all round. Sorry, as I continue to have a couple little mic issues there. But they tie it up and don't let Polar Ace escape. I mean, they won the first map, so winning the second map is crucial. So, you know, to try and close the entire series out. Sorry, I'm getting a flurry of messages here back and forth. But anyway, to try and close the series out, which is what they want to do here. 4-4, still not match point or anything. Remember, this is the new rules. So it's the first to 6, win by 2, best of 10. And here we go with round number 9 underway.
It's a main lobby defense coming up from Dexterity, something we haven't seen thus far. And the castle barricades and triple ACOG coming out at the behest of Dexterity. Sweater, Bolo, Yaga going to be playing Rook, Doc, Echo, respectively. Clearly trying to take some aggression to be able to absorb as many shots as possible, and possibly even go for a couple spawn peeks, as we saw Sweater doing in his matchup last week, going for aggression after aggression on border, and actually paying off. What are you doing? Hello, Yaga? Playing behind a deployable in the middle of the greenery under the statue of Spiral Skylight. Have fun with that, bud. But the Echo Drone going to be placed inside of main lobby. Someone didn't grab their Rook armor either. It's an interesting situation seeing Dexterity set up all the time. They seemingly make a lot of mistakes in setup, and it doesn't come back to haunt them. Can't really tell if it's Dexterity just off guard, or if it's Polar Race not capitalizing on those possible mistakes that they could be punishing Dexterity with.
Sorry about the mic thing again. It is one of those things where there's been a lot of back and forth. I like Polar Ace's ability to kind of change with the circumstance. Exo will go down. Not sure if he can secure the kill, and the foot just slips past the corner of the door frame. Holiday Nog in the typical Blackbeard spot will get a beautiful shot through the wall. Great game sense, as he knew he had to crawl away to safety. Bolo, though, will get a headshot on a Nyx coming upstairs, trying to give support to his fallen comrade. He'll shoot some shots out towards the Blackbeard, do a little bit of damage, but he's getting pinched from both sides. Somebody at the other end of Long Desk. Dynasty now in with the Glaz will get a kill onto him. And so that is Bolo and the Doc off the board. A trade back again by Hyper on the Dynasty, and that is your Glaz gone. He will rotate back downstairs to safety. A minute and a half left to go. And he will whip out that cardiac sensor and try to give his team a little bit more information about the remaining attackers.
Was able to see all the way to the top floor as the admin double door office to break room hallway is spotting out. I believe it's Holiday Nog. No, I think it's Tranks, actually. Sorry. As Holiday Nog was still positioned on those B windows. Poor peek by Exit earlier on. Bobfather will shut down Sweater as he was going for that kind of close sight roam game outside. The Nitro going to be going up. I'm not sure if you can destroy that floor. Nonetheless, the Nitro will fall short. Hyper will have to go for a rotation up yellow. Yaga, the lone man on site as he deals with 3 attackers aggressing down. Just spotting the leg underneath the castle barricade. He's able to down him and finish him off. What an angle by Yaga to cut down Tranks. Leveling up man count now, 2v2. Holiday Nog still very preoccupied with that deployable shield in behind the greenery and statue of Spiral Skylight. Called it before. 40 seconds on the board, 2v2. I believe Holiday Nog is completely out of face shields. He's going to walk in and be the DMR gunman. As Bobfather carrying the diffuser, the Echo drone gets placed, but Holiday Nog is going to notice that, take it out. And now pushing in through yellow stairs. Was Bobfather alone with the diffuser? He will fall. Hyper drops him. It's all alone. Holiday Nog in a 1v2 with 15 seconds on the board. Has to breach, give away his position to the bottom of yellow stairs. Pushing up to try and reclaim the diffuser, push into sight and clutch this out, or else it will be Dexterity on match point, series point. Pulling out the Deagle, completely unaware of the flank coming from behind him from bathroom hallway, trying to aim the headshot, can't find it. Yaga with the bearing 9 in hand, ends the run of Holiday Nog and puts us on match point, series point.
Yes, it does indeed. And what can I say? I mean, it's been an interesting second map, that's for sure. Polar Ace pulling the lead off twice, but not able to kind of bring it to overtime first, which is unfortunate because Dexterity had all of the success in map number 1 and then the early Consulate. And it's unfortunate that we've gotten to this point because I really, really did want to see if your claims about Polar Ace on Chalet were true. But if this kind of continues, we might not see if that might be the case.
So starting out downstairs, Dexterity looking to close out the map on round number 10 of Consulate, a much closer game. Like we talked about, the shutouts in map number 1 have not been indicative of the entire story we've seen in week number 1 of NA and CCS. Dexterity gonna have to be wary of whatever Polar Ace's strategy was to come down the Visa stairs and spiral. And honestly, I was very shocked to see that strategy and still bring out the same operators. I'm waiting to see if maybe Polar Ace are going to opt to take it from the garage wall this time.
I mean, I would imagine that's going to be the case. You simply just need to blow up panels 1 and 3, throw the glass smokes down, and begin your push. But there's plenty of opportunity for Dexterity here to repel that. Of course, chief among them is going to be the fact that you have that yokai in effect. You've got a smoke. I wouldn't be too surprised to see somebody play back a white van at some point, but as it stands right now, they've got nobody positioned there. So just waiting to see if somebody will make the rotate. I haven't put up that second mirror, it appears, for Sweater just yet, but I'd wager probably on one of the soft walls so he can cover white van and panels 1 and 3 as well.
Bobfather going to try and catch the defense off guard. He's pressed up right against the wall, going to be pulling out a drone, and he's allowed Hyper to come and fill in and get the bandit trick down. Nick's going to be covering with the ash charge from below, repelled on the piano windows. A Nitro going to be launched out, and it's going to fall just wide. The thermite charge is going off. The EMPs will come out, destroy the battery. Nick's not in position to dispel that bandit trick. Nonetheless, Hyper backs off to safety. The wall gets opened up, and a minute deep. This is more progress we've seen downstairs for Polar Ace than we've seen all game.
Oh, Bobfather just missing that by a hair. Hyper losing the wall and just getting away with his life. So a bit of a loss, but still a gain back, as that should have been an easy kill for Polar Ace to be able to take at least a numbers advantage. They've fallen into that typical trap right now where you've got one panel, you haven't gotten the other. There's about a minute and a half to go. You haven't really taken out too much map control. And I think a big portion is going to be what Nyx can do from above, because the sooner they get that vertical pressure onto the site, the easier it's going to make the plant, the easier it's going to make Glaz to push. And you can see the exothermic charge being planted on the second panel. Exo's in really bad shape. He'll go prone, and I'm surprised as bullets rattle over his head as nobody can connect, playing a very tight angle, and Dynasty will get the leadoff kill there.
Dynasty to drop him with the OTS-03 from way downtown up on the garage ramp. Now looking in, they have full sight line into the objective. Unable to spot anyone as Dynasty, but they do have that man advantage. Looking to press this into overtime. A minute on the board, and they only have the 2 smoke grenades on Dynasty at hand to cause some diffusion. Tranks, though, going to take down Bolo on a wonderful flank hold outside piano windows from police line spawn, trying to dissuade any kind of rotations down yellow stairs. That was the death of Polar Ace on their attack rounds, and the same for Dexterity. A wonderful peek by Yaga will try and bring one back as Dynasty falls. That's the glass, only one smoke grenade utilized, and now the flank coming in from Sweater. He claims Bobfather, but down from outside. Hyper grabs Nyx. Is down to a 2v2 as Holiday Nog will finish off Sweater. Spray's coming in behind White, unable to land. Trank's now going to have to rotate, and Holiday Nog is filled in on yellow stairs. The Echo drone still in play for Yagas. It was disabled by an EMP for 10 seconds. It will get reset. He's going to spot Holiday Nog coming down. It's free fire coming out from Hyper, going to land on the backside, and he's able to finish the kill onto Tranks. Now down to a 1v2. Holiday Nog to save the round once again has a face shield, but he's got Hyper pressing up in behind White. There's no time on the board to plan. He has to go for both frags. Playing behind him here is Yaga. He shuts down Holiday Nog, and it is all over. Polar Ace going to drop their second week game 2-0 to Dexterity.
A fantastic job by Dexterity to close it out. They had a lot more of a fight that they had to contend with in map number 2, but Dexterity able to finish it off strong, and that will be it for game number 1. Dexterity taking the win over Polar Ace, going to 1-1. Unfortunately, Polar Ace dropping to 0-2 now. Still 12 weeks left for them to play it out, but not the result you wanted to be if you were Polar Ace, and the vindication that Dexterity needed after a great 3-map series last weekend. So, folks, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new here, slap that follow button. This is CCS Esports. I want to thank our special guest for dropping in mid-game. More on that later.
Could call that mid-game in the final round.
Hey, it could have gone on forever, technically. Either way, folks, we're going to go to a short break while we get game number 2 all set up. So stick around, and we will be back in a jiffy with Devious Esports versus Motivate. You're not going to want to miss that, so stick around.